What's up, everybody? Rivera here. I'm kind of tired of people when it comes to racism and homophobia just because people come at it the dumbest ways. Like, I have a guy that's hitting me up right now on the story I did about Antoine Rose, which Antoine Rose is a 17-year-old kid that ended up getting fatally shot by the police in East Pittsburgh yesterday. Which my advice was, don't run from the police. That's my advice. And a few people got mad at me like I was saying something wrong. But really, I don't care how many protests you have, you're not going to bring that kid back to life. You're not going to bring any of the kids back to life that choose to end up doing things that's going to end up getting them killed. So I say that as a person of color that would like to see people of color continue to live, which I don't think is an unreasonable request. I would like to see other people of color continue to live. And I'm not going to pretend that I'm an idealist and I think nobody's ever going to die again. But just as far as this senseless, like cops and kids and cops and people of color, just the way it all works out, yes, I would actually like to see that stop. But there is the part with the cops, yes, and that needs to be addressed, but there's also the part with the way people conduct themselves, and that needs to be addressed too. It's really a two-part problem. It's not just one side and the other side is great. It's like both sides could use a little bit of work. So I say that, and then I have somebody tell me that they hope somebody in my family dies, and it's like, yeah, you can say that if I said the kid deserved to die because he ran. I didn't say he deserved to die. I just said, to prevent this in the future, hopefully parents start telling their kids, don't run from the police. It's just not a smart thing to do. And I explained why I said that, and then some people were like, I'm just disappointed. Well, be disappointed. Be disappointed somewhere else, though. Because if you think I'm going to change what I'm saying or what I think or things that I think are important to say to other people of color because your feelings are hurt, that's not going to happen. It's just not. I feel like the message is more important. Don't let yourself turn into a statistic or a casualty. That's more important. And then I had this other idiot hitting me up, and clearly racist, talking about how this is just another case of a black person that whatever, and it's just like, one, why would you even come at it that way? What year are you living in that you think this is the way to talk? And two, everything you said was not factually correct. Nothing you said was factually correct. And I was like, okay, I'm fine if you want to debate this, if you want to say, like, the kid messed up in these ways. But when you're saying things that aren't even part of the story, that aren't even being reported in the news, it's like, where are you getting this information? Because nothing you're saying is factually correct. And I know because I read the story and I paid attention to the story. So you can't tell me that you want to debate me on this or you're going to tell me how it is people of color work. And then you all of a sudden add all of these extra crimes to the case that didn't actually happen to say that the kid deserved it. Well, no. Nobody's saying that stuff. So you're just adding these extra charges yourself that nobody else has said. The police aren't even claiming that. So I don't know how it is you would think that you're going to be able to use that as part of your argument and then expect me to debate it with you or to think you're being serious. As far as I'm concerned, you're a joke when you say that kind of stuff. Then I had people hitting me up about the Chloe Dykstra situation, which I'm fine. People have opinions on that. But at the same time, don't come at me too heavy and act like, I don't care about abuse. No. I don't think a woman being told that she can't have a glass of wine with dinner is abuse. I don't think a person not being able to stand up for themselves and say, hey, I am going to have pictures of my male friends around my apartment. I don't think that's abuse. I don't think not telling a person that you don't want to have sex with them night after night and letting them have sex with you constitutes a sexual assault. Like, the person thinks they're in a relationship with you. Sex is usually part of a relationship. I had sex with my boyfriend today when we woke up. Actually, we had sex twice when we woke up. Both of us just assumed that we had consent because both of us just went along with it. So I don't remember either of us asking. I don't remember either of us saying a clear yes. We're just in a relationship. We woke up. We were obviously feeling it. We both had sex. And I don't expect to find out years from now, 4 years after we break up, that he felt like he was sexually assaulted, and I know I won't be doing the same to him. Like, to me, none of this makes sense. And maybe it's because I don't live in a white person's world. Maybe that's what it is. Like, I live as an ethnic man. Maybe these are white people problems, and I just don't get it when it comes to that being actual abuse. But I just don't consider that abuse. I'm saying by her own words, I don't really consider that abuse. So I don't care what it is you're saying about that. I mean, like, I and a lot of America does not consider that abuse. Does abuse happen? Yes. Is it a very serious thing? Most definitely. Do I think we need to figure something out about that and get people help? Yes, of course. But am I going to start saying that things are abuse that aren't necessarily abuse? No, I don't think that helps anybody. I don't think that helps anything. You've got somebody claiming to have been abused that was having their freedom curtailed, most definitely by a possessive boyfriend. And then you've got somebody that's in a shelter because they got slapped for serving a cold fucking dinner. Now, you ask me which one's abuse? You ask me which one I want to help out? I'll tell you which one I want to help out. I want to help the one that's actually getting abused. And if you think the one that's having her freedom curtailed is the one that needs the most help, then I think you need help. I don't think you're thinking right, because this is the kind of abuse that I've seen in the past. The one that is actually getting abused, that needs a way out. This chick had no kids with this man, and she didn't need him financially. She may have liked him financially, but she didn't need him financially. Usually a person that's getting abused has no other options, needs to go to a shelter, doesn't have places they can go. So I'm sorry if I don't think some privileged white woman that has been told she's not allowed to do a certain thing, plus allowed, why are you even letting a man allow you or disallow you to do anything? But you're pretending to be a strong woman. How long did it take for you to become a strong woman? Because you still don't sound like a strong woman. And I read a couple days ago, she did her, like, thank you to everybody. And she's still claiming to be abused. And it's like, you weren't abused. People are always going to complain about shit that doesn't fucking matter. And I'm just tired of people. It's like, can you not just every once in a while be like, no, I don't want to do that with you. Nobody wants to do that with you. And then there's still the people that are complaining on social media about depression and how people don't take it seriously enough. And I know that depression is a very serious thing. I myself have dealt with depression in the past. I've been very open about it. Now, the thing with depression, though, is I notice, like, different people will suggest different things. Like, for me personally, exercise helps a lot. Like, when I'm working out, it really does help with my mental and emotional stability. It really does help out when I'm working out and getting to the gym like I need to. So sometimes I'll tell people that say that they're suffering from depression, I'm like, why don't you try working out a bit, you know? Like, obviously, if you're going to be going through depression anyway, maybe if you get up and get moving a little bit, it'll help things out. Well, I just don't think that'll help my kind of depression, and I don't think you understand. Are you insinuating that your depression is somehow worse than mine? Are you insinuating that your emotions somehow weigh on you heavier than mine do on me? Because you're now belittling my experience and making it seem like me giving you this advice is not good advice. And not just because, I mean, like, one, how could it hurt you just to get up and get moving? That's one thing. But the other thing is, if you haven't already tried it, how do you know it wouldn't work? Just because you're looking for help over the counter, that's an easy way to do things. And I know some people will get mad because I say that's an easy way to do things, but it is an easy way to do things if you're just expecting it to come over the counter. I have no problem with people taking medication. I know a lot of people legitimately do need medication. But it's like, if the medication isn't working for you and you're still feeling depressed, maybe you need to try some other things on top of the medication. Continue taking your medication, and at the same time, get out, get moving a bit more. See if that helps you. I mean, it couldn't hurt. You're saying that you're depressed and you're thinking about killing yourself, and like, you're having all of these thoughts, but it's out of the realm of possibility for you to get up and get moving and try something as basic as, let me just do a little bit of exercise and see if that helps me out. It helped out this guy. Because, I mean, like, it really did help me out. So that's why I tell people to do it. And then there's the people that act like they own depression. They own the whole idea. And they get very rude with people. How dare you pieces of shit tell people just to reach out. For some people, it's not easy to reach out. And it's like, so reaching out doesn't work for you, or you're not likely to reach out. But that doesn't mean that other people don't need to hear that it would be welcomed for them to reach out, that some of us are here and willing to listen to their stories and kind of talk them through their depression or what it is they're going through, if we can help at all. Again, This isn't a bad thing. Nobody's coming from a bad place when they say this. I know some people try to make it about themselves completely. I've seen that, people will talk about their struggle, and you're kind of like, bitch, I know you in real life. You ain't struggling. You are always the happiest person I know. But you never know, because sometimes people that seem really happy are going through a lot. So even that, you can't really say. I just say, at least try your best to take people at face value. A lot of people assume because of my social media presence or because of my attitude on certain things that I would be completely callous to that kind of thing. But the truth is, I've had people that I don't even particularly care for say on social media that they were feeling like they might hurt themselves, and I've right away jumped into their direct messages and just been like, hey, do you want to chat? And I've had chats with a few people. There was one time that I got in a huge argument with somebody because I was trying to help out somebody that was depressed, and that person, was really going through depression where they felt suicidal. And so I was trying to help them out, and then somebody else jumped on me for consoling them because they were saying that they were a terrible person, and I was like, I understand. Like, this man called you fat on Facebook the other day. So you're still upset because he called you fat on Facebook, but my thing is, he's trying to kill himself right now or thinking about killing himself, and I'm trying to talk him off this ledge, so to speak, but you're still mad enough that he called you fat that you think that I shouldn't help him out. Now, how does that make sense? To me, it doesn't make sense at all. To me, it's like, okay, let's make sure he's alive and ready to call you fat another day. That may not have been the best way to put that. But anyway. Oh, and then let me mention this when it comes to the racism thing, because I forgot to mention earlier. Sometimes people will come at me talking about how racist everybody is and stuff like that. And then they'll try to use the fact that I'm gay as an insult towards me. And it's like, okay, but if you really want people to treat you like an equal, if you really say that you hate being discriminated against or having people treat you like less than because of your skin color, then why would you turn around and give that same treatment to somebody that you consider to be less than because of their orientation? Like, to me, that doesn't make sense. And we don't have to have the debate about whether or not I was born this way. No matter what you think, being gay is not a choice. This is not something that I chose to be. Technically, if I'm being 100% honest with you, when I was a kid, I wanted to be normal. I just wanted to be like the other kids. So if it had been a choice, I would have chosen to be straight. That's the choice I would have made. So while you might think that you're judging me for something that is a choice that I've made, I will tell you most definitely it is not a choice. Because had it been a choice, and I know other people will get mad at me for saying this, like at this point, I love myself 100%, I accept myself 100%, I'm happy to be who I am, and I'm happy to be in love with the person I'm in love with. But when I was younger, especially like junior high age, if I was able, elementary school, junior high age, if I were able to have just made myself what I consider normal and been able to be a straight kid and be like all the other kids in the town that I was growing up in, or what I thought were all the other kids in the town that I grew up in. I'm sure some of them grew up to be gay, but when I felt so alone and so isolated, I definitely would have taken that choice to be straight if it had been a choice. So that's what I would tell people when they're trying to demean other people for being gay and at the same time say that you want to be treated like a human being even though you're a person of color. Because here's the deal with me, I'm both. I'm a person of color and I'm gay. So for a lot of years there, I had people not liking me for one or the other. Sometimes it was both. Sometimes it was double. I was a double whammy for them. So maybe keep that in mind when you're acting like, we just want to be treated like people. Yeah, so do I. I'd like to be treated like a person too. So keep that in mind. Thank you for listening, everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I'm not sure if I'm going to do post over the weekend. I might not. This is really one of my first weeks full on doing YouTube vlogs. So I hope you guys are enjoying so far. Leave me some comments and also subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, everybody.